station. I'm really a psycho, Patrick Bateman. If you see her with me, she's taken.
White bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a lead top, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena. I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that. White bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a lead top, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena. I need that, I need that, I need that.
I smoke loud, but I never get lousy. Black Swan, Darren Aronofsky. Plug said he wants 16 for the pound, but I'm trying to get it under. Rack like Saudi. Iced out watch and my diamonds ain't cloudy. 4 rings never came with the Audi. Grows like Foreman. I put my money where my mouth is and I don't want to smile, just allow me. No new friends, I got mob ties. Where would I be without the guys we get fly? Argue 1,000 times, you told jokes till the tears come out your eyes. You know the haters hate when you're out of sight. I hear them say we sold out. Yeah, we sold out. Everything I said, humble pie. One slice cut a man down to size. Like, could have been 30, could have been a G. Should have never snitched. Why you took me to police? Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really want to act silly, behave. Whenever on stage and the milli gets paid. I need that, I need that, I need that.
White bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a lead top, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena.
I need that, I need that, I need that.
I need that.
I need that, I need that, I need that.
Little white bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a lead top, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena. That booty. I need that, I need that, I need that. Little white bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a detox, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena. That booty. I need that, I need that, I need that. Little white bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a detox, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena. That booty.
Could have been 30, could have been a G. Should have never snitched. Why you took me to police? Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really want to act silly, behave. Whenever on stage and the milli gets made. I need that, I need that, I need that. Please. I feel sorry for skeptic. They copy these flow, but they say that it's a new flow. Imitation don't flatter me, but it's cool though. Should have ever left the guy alone in my studio. Put them in the coffin, get them on a tombstone. Yeah, I got a half of the price of a kudo. Living like a boss man, nothing like Hugo. I need that, I need that, I need that good price. When the plug turn pagan, tweaking, talking inflation, peace is needed, getting impatient, blood, everybody getting complacent, leg, work, step on the pavement, victory lap, I'm back in the station, I'm really a psycho, Patrick Bateman, if you see her with me, she's taken.
White bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a lead top, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena. I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that.
Money in my motherfucking briefcase, C-pay. Every time I kill a beat, I probate, okay. Circulated paper, let it rotate all day. Need it in my hands, no all state. Not rush more when I'm looking for the big face. So much value when I gotta get a replay. Gotta hustle hard with the flow, so I tell the DJ. What's up the argument or you get targeted? Pistol unpocketed, very anonymous. Niggas be talking shit off of the populace. Then start popping in front of your audience. When you wanna go, you gotta keep that fire. Vision with the M-I-A-M-I. Gardens where all of the hardest reside. If Big Oprah did it, you know it's a vibe. Wet you, like to, bitch you, issue, show you what my mission is. Bitch ass, niggas, don't exist. I turn head, like the, exit.
White bitch on Depop, chillin', teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a freak. I should've never let that bitch all over my seat. My not a bitch skipping, popping in my Reeboks, talking about a lead top, busy like a beatbox. Top grown up bitch, looking like Selena.
I need that. Paper in my pocket.
I need that fuel inside my rocket.
Blast out, baby, you can see me in the cockpit.
With a blunt 3, 2, 1, take a knock, bitch.
Keep my both from rocking, make the ground shake, step the motherfucker my spit. Ain't nobody safe, ain't nobody got an option. But they get dropped them bombs on you. And I don't even smoke like that. Already elevated cause I roll like that. I be levitating on a daily, baby. Steady meditating, grab a yoga back. Breathe out, baby, don't hold it in. Breathe in, baby, your soul needs that. Fools out here thinking that we don't wait till I see that a man hold it back.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, Ronky morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. Bro, I don't even know what it is for you, bro. All I know is that today we caught a fish. We caught a fish, bro. The fishing frenzy, not the fish. The fishing frenzy white paper is out. We're going to take a deep dive into it today and chat with JW, actually. And JW is a key member of the team over at Fishing Frenzy. And yeah, man, got the pleasure of her joining us today on the show. So tune into the tunes. We're gonna get this show started pretty damn soon. The white paper, the wet paper, come up with the best joke of that as you can and put it in the chat. I appreciate it. But for now, we're going to chill and listen to music. Make sure everybody gets in, and then we're gonna get the show on the road, bro. Good morning to every one of you. Shout out to Ronky Monkey in the chat already. Robocop's here. Winter fire? I guess that's fire. Anyway, shout out to you, my friend. But yeah, give us a few minutes. We can get everyone in here set up, and then we will go crazy with this. All right, sounds good. Sounds fucking great, doesn't it?
I need that.
I need that.
I need that right bitch on D5, spilling T5, 2 left feet, and read by shot again, freelance. Now she a free that should've never let the bitch alone with my seat. My side of bitch skipping, following my rebucks, talking about the detox.
Oh my God.
I got a bar that will send a man. Give me the mic and no any man. Send a man, give me the mic and no any man. Go tell a man, come and get me, you're far from a clever man. Send a man, with the butt, go get a man. Anytime you're ready, I'm there, I'm better than D-time, fair and square. We can link in the end, we can link make fair. When I'm here, fresh and clean when I'm here, it's too mad when I'm here, it's on top when I'm here, literally make man disappear. It's the victory like between me and you, blood at the history gap. How did man gonna come with chat? Come against me, I'm there and that. R.I.P. on the t-shirt, all the man never wearing that. Put man to bed so the man fall nap, then the man get rap.
I need that.
Trust me. It's over.
Crazy. Some of the top tunes from the last month, always pulling through at the start of the show. Big up Jace the Wizard in the chat. Shout out to DeFranco is here as well. I'm bringing back some of these summer tunes. I need to feel the warmth, man. It's cold out here. But also, we got a lot ahead of us, man. And I feel like today's going to be a big show. So lock in. Let's get it.
I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink.
And I only think about Ron.
I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. And I only think about you. And I only think about you. I only think about you. And I only think about you. I only think about you.
An overview of today's show, of course, you can see it. We have Fishing Frenzy represented on today's show. We're going to take a look into the white paper. I guess we'll skim read because we're not here to do a little let Gila read for you session. That ain't going to happen. We're going to go over some of the key points. Seen a lot of opinions already on the new white paper that is out there. A lot of novel mechanics, we'll explain them. Get to know JW herself as well. I think she's a great personality in the Fishing Frenzy team. I want to have a conversation because you've been at the in real life events over the last few months as well. Get her take on the space, how it felt back then, and how she feels about stuff right now too. So, not just solely focusing in on a white paper. Of course, the white paper is here, and that is our big announcement. And we want you guys to go and read that, right? We want you to understand the games that are doing well here in Ronin. That is one of the focuses for sure. But it's going to be based around the proof of contribution, the title name of this white paper. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more. We love a key phrase in this industry, right? We love a key phrase in this industry. So I like to know what the key phrase is actually signifying, and you will find that out today with me. But we're going to spin one more track after this one right here, and then the show begins. This one, 1010, Unknown T and Notion, UK artist. This song has been doing massive over the last month. So here, let me introduce you to some UK's tunes. All right, last song, and then we get in the show started. Repost the stream, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and I'll send you a kiss in the post. I don't know how I'm going to achieve that. But anyway, here's the tune.
My bad, I was on a phone to the rondos. I didn't even hear what you said then. I got less friends, they wouldn't say, but I set trends. Big boy, wrist like Ben 10, so it's only right. When 3-8 steps inside, he comes with a 10-10, comes with a 10-10. 10 out of 10, if it's 9 or 8, then hold on, slow down, stop. Wait, you want on go, then say it on go now. But nothing ain't changed. I know that I hit 30 M's in May, but I still been deep in the trenches, babe. I don't see no one putting ingredients, but they all wanna full complete. How? They judge man like Simon Cowell, you switching your bro, I find that foul. The same thing you was thinking about to do in 2 years, man's doing it now. They say you was dissing for crowd, it's bossy. Look when I open my mouth, I'll look like a regular you from South. No, 10-10, my lyrics and flows are 10-10, strategy and technique 10-10. My bad, I was on the phone to the rondos, I didn't even hear what you said then. I got less friends, they wouldn't say, but I set trends. Big boy, wrist like Ben 10, so it's only right. When 3-8 steps inside, he comes with a 10-10, comes with a 10-10. 10-10, my lyrics and flows are 10-10, strategy and technique 10-10. My bad, I was on the phone to the rondos, I didn't even hear what you said then. I got less friends, they wouldn't say, but I set trends. Big boy, wrist like Ben 10, so it's only right. When 3-8 steps inside, he comes with a 10-10, comes with a 10-10. My lyrics and flows are 10-10, strategy and technique 10-10. My bad, I was on the phone to the rondos, I didn't even hear what you said then. I got less friends, they wouldn't say, but I set trends. Big boy, wrist like Ben 10, so it's only right. When 3-8 steps inside, he comes with a 10-10, comes with a 10-10. 10-10. My lyrics and flows are 10-10, strategy and technique 10-10. My bad, I was on the phone to the rondos, I didn't even hear what you said then. I got less friends, they wouldn't say, but I set trends. Big boy, wrist like Ben 10, so it's only right. When 3-8 steps inside, he comes with a 10-10, comes with a 10-10.
You say gango shoes and a duffel bag, we always protect each other. Things and stuff get shoved in a booth, but the niggas put faith in a cup. Voila, that head tap made a man suffer. I could've just cut more shades, but I'm rolling with mine now. Who's gonna dance like Usher? I see man 1-2 steps on a blocker. Who they enter their clip, let's dead it. Right now, white boy wasted like I've been raving. I in Essex. I got cash in spares, I don't need no debit. With a fool that found me a song, and the way man press it, shut that down and go sell it. Let me pattern a head and rev it.
10-10, my lyrics and flows are 10-10, strategy and technique 10-10. My bad, I was on the phone to the
10 out of 10. Honestly, Fishing Frenzy, yo, it is looking like a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comments if you are in the Fishing Frenzy ecosystem, if you've got a founder's pass, and if you would say Fish Token is looking like a 10-10. We're ready, bro. I'm locked in. It is what it is. Let's get this show on the road. People, I'm ill. Right? I don't know if you can tell. I'm fighting through it. But we're here, man. We're locked in. It's Thursday. It's traditional day. You are here locked into the Ronin Radio. If you're not already following us on X, then I don't know what you're doing. The king of gaming is Ronin, and we bring to you all of that news. So if you care, if you give a shit about gaming in crypto, bro, you got to know what it is. So if anyone is new here, welcome, my friends. But shout out to all the legends that are here week in, week out. I see you. Shout out to Levon, bro. We're going to have JW up, question mark, with an exclamation mark. The answer to your question, my friend, is yes. Today we will be talking with JW. As you guys can see, the Fish Token has been announced. All right, it is happening. It is in a white paper. And Ronky don't read, so we're gonna help you today by using your ears instead of your eyes and cognitive functions in your brain to actually digest exactly what the words are saying. All right, that's our job, that's our responsibility. We love to do it, and we're bringing it here to you today. Of course, I'm doing that with my two compadres, the legends themselves. It is 1437 and Mr. Stark, who I will say have been absolutely killing it in the trenches right now. So we got a lot to talk about. I think we will save those notions until the end portion of the show. But yo, my friends, how we doing, man? Good morning.
I thought when you said King of Gaming, you were introducing me, but then you're just talking about Ronin. All right, you know. I was like, all right, here we go. He's hyping me up. Let's go.
We're going out today, ladies and gentlemen. Your King of Gaming 1437. Jeez. Well, actually, I took down the King yesterday. If anybody would care to know, you know, I won a best of 5 against the King of Gaming. So I'm gonna put that on the resume. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we're like 10-1 now, so it was good.
10-1. You're funny. Anyway, you know, here we are. The show is brought to you live. This is what we do. You know, we're gaming with our brothers every single day. It's real. And you know, it's tough times, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's very difficult in this time that we find ourselves in. There's a lot of ambiguity. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of red fucking candles. And I get it, bro. Trust me, I get it. So, you know, the chat is a safe space for you to, if you have opinions, you want to talk about certain topics, please be our guest and let us know in the comments. We try to not overlook anything that does end up in that chat box. And of course, you get a nice little feature on the screen down there. So, you know, be our guests. I mean, don't say something too wild, but you know, I can't control you. So the world is your oyster. But today's topic, of course, as you guys know and have mentioned, we're going to be talking about proof of contribution, the white paper that has come out by Fishing Frenzy. I think it came out maybe 6-7 hours ago or something like that. So there probably will be a lot of people who have not yet read through the white paper, or this is the first time hearing about it. I will also say this live and direct. This is the first stop on the, I guess, marketing campaign of talking about the new white paper and promoting Fish, the token. So we are great, you know, we're grateful for that. Shout out to JW for reaching out and being here today. And yeah, man, do we want to support games that are doing well on Ronin? And I think Fishing Frenzy for an on-chain game has performed tremendously well this year. You know, so that's what we're going to do today. That is the mission. I don't know if you guys had a skim read or a read through. At least we did launch a post from the Ronin account that covers, you know, pretty much in a nutshell what is going to be shared in this white paper. So if you want to go to our page and read through this just to get ahead, then please do. But has anybody read through it before the show?
I didn't have time to.
Here we go. This is where I find out.
But I was gonna spin it as like, oh, I can be the fresh eyes on this. But I think if Steven hasn't read it either, then it's like, what's the point of having 4? I mean, it's fresh eyes for everyone in chat too, so we can all skim through.
Well, in all fairness, guys, it is 9 a.m. Okay, so
Steven has an excuse. Stark, it's like 3 in the fucking afternoon right now. He has zero.
That's why we got JW in here, okay? Because we're a bunch of wrong case. All right, we're a bunch of wrong case.
That's why. My bad. But we're
yeah, sorry, get her in here, man. Just get her in here because
I will say this though before.
And let me know what's good because we're all a bunch of wrong case and we don't know shit. We can't read. All right. So that's exactly why, you know, she's doing what she's got to do.
Facts. But before we get into that, I will just say that the white paper is arguably, and this is one of the best things ever, it's not a painfully long read. Like if you skim through the white paper, you can actually see that there's not a wall of fucking text on every page, which feels so good because some crypto projects in the past have had white papers that are longer than Harry Potter novels, and I'm just not into it, bro. So there is that notion. So if you are going to go read it yourself word for word, then you know, there's some encouragement to do so. Without further ado, though, let's bring through today's guest with a warm welcome. Glad to have you here. It is JW. Good morning. Well, good evening, right? It's a night time over there. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you guys again. Lots of familiar faces.
Yeah. Wait, yes. Is this your first time like on cam, you know, and people get to like see you, meet you, and so on, or have you actually been on here before at least? I think not, right?
No, this is my first time. I've had calls with you guys.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes chat, but yeah, this is my first time.
Let's go. Now, JW made some content too as well. I think that definitely is in the locker when it comes to your skill set. You've been at Fishing Frenzy for the majority of this year. Forgive me if I'm, you know, inaccurate with some of these details. But I want the community to get to know you a little bit before we dive into the white paper itself. I know that's what we're here to do, but I think it's always great to have like some personability with members of teams, in projects on Ronin. So, JW, if you could let us know a little bit about yourself, how you got into working with Fishing Frenzy, and yeah, man, audience listening, JW, everyone.
Sure. Where do I begin? So I got into crypto 2016-17. Spent a lot of time just being a contributor and an investor. Experimented with DeFi. DeFi summer was great. Invested in a bunch of gaming projects, and then in sometime in 2022, I was introduced to Derek by a mutual investor of my previous company and Immutable Guild Guardians, where Derek was previously. So Derek and I got to know each other, and we started discussing about the possibility of building like an ecosystem whereby we just build like games of like speculation, games that like need crypto to function, and like how it would kind of like value add to like gaming, and kind of like just realized that we had very similar like vision and thesis when it comes to what makes like the perfect crypto game, or rather the perfect crypto consumer app. So with that, we got to building. Fishing Frenzy is not our first game. Uncharted started sometime in 2023 or 2024. I can't remember. Like I can't remember the exact time we went public. We've just been like cooking a lot behind the scenes. And so we launched a couple of games that were like very kind of like on-chain, strategy-based games that were a bit more RNG. And then we just like wanted to just build as fast as we can and learn as fast as we can. And I think that kind of like gave us the foundation to where Fishing Frenzy is today. So like every game that we built, and we were super rigorous about how quick we had to build those games. So we were optimizing for like speed to market, learning, getting better with each game. And we kind of had a very disciplined and like clinical approach to that. So for Uncharted, it's been probably 1.5 years since we've been building publicly, close to 2 years now. Every week we've shipped something new, be it in our old games or Fishing Frenzy. Fishing Frenzy has had like a weekly update every week since we launched. And so yeah, that's kind of the journey that we've been in so far. Right now, Uncharted is kind of like focusing a lot on Fishing Frenzy, just because like a lot of our community members like got to know us through Fishing Frenzy and really enjoy the game. We see a lot of potential in the game, and we want to double down there.
Yeah, 100%. I think you guys really nailed it as well with the Fishing Frenzy approach being like a short experience or a short part of people's day. And like it doesn't feel like heavily taxating in that manner, which you can get cult like community around that, because it's habit, right? Like they do it every single day, and it doesn't consume them, and they can actually dedicate the time towards it, which was a strong point for Fishing Frenzy itself. Like I said, it's performed really well this year, and you guys at Uncharted have built game experiences that need crypto to function. So I think you've accomplished those ideas you were talking about early on. You also said that you guys ship every single week pretty much, and that's like, I can testify that is true. You know, you've made long strides since coming into the Ronin ecosystem. And I actually spoke with Derek in January of this year, like right at the beginning of the year, and the picture that he was painting, like I can see that, you know, as you guys develop, we're going towards that. And I'm actually really excited. I'm not going to press on alpha because there's certain things that I know potentially are in the pipeline of things, but we'll save that for Derek and the team to do so in your guys' own time. Today, of course, is about the white paper, though. So let's dive into it. You guys literally titled this "Proof of Contribution," right? Is it a new novel mechanic? Because G-Host loves that word. He actually quote tweeted the tweet about the white paper, saying that there's a plenty of novel mechanics in this white paper as well, which is very interesting to hear him say. He say those are like some of the key things for project success is actually having novel mechanics. So I'd like to obviously start where we right at the beginning with the title saying "Proof of Contribution." Could you explain that a little bit for us?
Well, I think proof of contribution literally means what it's saying, which is we want to reward people who are contributing to our project and to the Fishing Frenzy ecosystem. But if you look deeper into the white paper, we very distinctly say that we also kind of like have a take that contributions are good and necessary, but they're also different. Like there are like some contributions that are higher impact, some that are lower impact, all of them necessary for project to flourish. But because they're different in terms of their impact and how we evaluate and how it impacts our success, we are going to be like rewarding players like differently. And the reason why it's important that we kind of like do this, take this approach, and I think it's fairly new because if you just look at a lot of the way previous rewards programs are done, it kind of like it's pretty one size fit all. Just like look at one of the earlier ones like Uniswap, right? Like every wallet that interacted got the same things. We kind of just think it's different because people are like their alignment with an ecosystem is also different. It's like how do you reward someone who's like been there from day one, has a very long-term view, wants to stick around, versus someone who like likes the project, but like isn't as incentivized to stick around for a long time. So that's kind of the starting point.
Yeah, this is an age-old problem, right? In this industry, and I think it's something that like crypto wants to solve. Something that's missing in Web 2 is like the acknowledgement of effort a lot of the time, and there is really like a difficult. There's layers of hierarchy, but they're like very difficult to climb, and they don't, like I said, acknowledge a lot of authentic effort and input that goes into supporting projects or products themselves. So being able to like decipher or give, I guess, accolades to the right people for the right things is something that we can essentially do here in this industry, and tackling that within a game's ecosystem. Of course, you have your set amount of, or your set group of people, and they know that there are actions to be taken within that ecosystem, and being able to identify them and distributing to them correctly is really one of those things that unfortunately so many projects have like fallen short on. I was reading through the white paper early this morning, and it was talking about how like it's like tokens themselves is a huge billion dollar industry. But imagine if, and you guys said this, imagine if you could get that distribution correct, right? If you could be much more efficient with that. Like, what are some of the ways that you guys are looking at this? Is it more of a reputation within the ecosystem? And it's very different to what we've seen with like P2As, so to speak. Because like bottom line is a lot of gamers are out here that now that we hear the phrase P2A, everyone's like, oh, bearish, right? Like it's very difficult to get around that. And like TGEs are very scary for any project, I think, at this moment in time. So for you guys to announce this right now, you have to have some confidence around the process on how this goes out. So if we could speak a little bit more onto that, how are you guys selecting the distribute, or how are you guys going about this distribution?
Yeah, I think the way that we are approaching it is also quite experimental. So like there is this broad mandate that we have, which is like, if you are a long-term contributor, if you're long-term aligned, I want to find you, I want to identify you, and I want to make sure that you're super well rewarded. Because if you're a good player, you're a good actor, why wouldn't I want to like give you the best rewards? Yeah. And I know that like when I give you this rewards, you contribute to reward and like stick around, right? So that's kind of the overarching mandate. The actual way to do it, there's like a few different moving parts. So we use a mix of like historicals, so information that we have since the game has been online on Ronin for a couple of months. So we have a set of data to work with. Obviously, that set of data is a bunch of like starting points, good starting point, but these are also not liquid incentives. So like the biggest points holder of your project is not necessarily going to be the biggest token holder. It's like once these incentives turn liquid, you don't really know what they're going to do with them. So we have enough data to kind of have a sense of how much people have contributed and what we want to give to them. But we also have something called like Karma, which goes live at TGE. And like on day one, like every action you do affects your Karma. And how that's important is like as your Karma gets like higher and lower, it affects like your future rewards. It affects like your future reward from playing the game, your future reward from the proof of contribution ecosystem. It even affects things like your tax rate. So if you get a bunch of tokens from playing Fishing Frenzy, but your karma score is very low, then you pay a much higher like withdrawal tax than someone with a higher karma score. So we kind of like believe that this is kind of like one of the ways to like kind of kickstart the flywheel. And I think like if you just step out, right, and like just look at like the economic idea, it's like what creates a like thriving economy it's kind of like a growth spiral, right? So it's like imagine your economy, right? What do you want to do? You want like good people. So if you want good people, then like how do you get like good people, good like citizens, good workers in? You kind of give them good incentives, and they come in if they kind of like benefit from the incentives, you know, they get their wages, they reinvest in land, they reinvest in the goods and services, they reinvest in GDP, then your economy grows, and then you can give more to them. And so it's really pretty similar here in the Fishing Frenzy universe. We're kind of like beta testing or like experimenting with this model.
Yeah. So you guys are calling this karma, right? And we've taken a look at the karma scoring model for the ronkies out there. We won't go to the text. We'll go to the beautiful, shiny, pretty image. But what you're saying here is absolutely correct. And this is something that I love about this industry is that like it's a microcosm of like building economies, right? Like we're actually trying to solve essentially a really, really difficult problem. And there is ways to approach this. The programmability of the distribution obviously enhances it and expedites that process too, which is something that I'm just personally like interested around. And yes, I am the biggest ronky here. So like, am I able to accurately track this? No, but like there's definitely something there that pulls me in. Scoring karma in this ecosystem is going to be instrumental, right? Like it's very important for this whole process. But the higher the karma score, the better the rewarding model will be for each individual. So let's take a look at this for a moment. I don't know if Stark and Demon, you have any points on things that you're hearing right now. We'll take this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Demon.
No, you first, Stark. You first.
Okay, cool. I was more thinking because as I was quickly reading through the white paper there. So karma kicks off at TGE, right? So how is the airdrop going out? Because that means it's like is it through people, like how people have played, etc. Because it seems am I like basically how is the proof of contribution starting before the TGE? Is there any part of that? Like how let me rephrase. How is contribution going to affect the airdrop? Not karma, because obviously karma goes live after, but how are you picking airdroppers with this idea in mind?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty similar thesis. So if you look at the tokenomics and the allocation, we've kind of like most projects, you know, we've decided to allocate a certain amount to the community. In our case, we've decided to allocate 65% with a 25% to the like earliest contributors. So these are people who played Fishing Frenzy and even a little bit for the ones who played the Uncharted games, just because like we always remember like our earliest supporters. And then within the 25%, when you break it down, we have allocation for people who played at different phases. And then we have a pretty sizable chunk. I think it's around 6-ish%. Can't remember the exact number, but I could pull it up. We have around 6.5% for kind of like, we call it additional contributions. And basically it's just like rewards for like actions that were not incentivized.
Okay. Yeah. So, like the history of what people have done since Fishing Frenzy has been live on Ronin. Like you were mentioning it earlier on, like how there are things that you can have as historical records for players who have been playing this year. And essentially like that's a great way to start exciting Fishing Frenzy players like who are currently, you know, in the ecosystem, who have been taking part, and for them to start like amplifying this event. I think that's the best way to go about it. I was literally playing the Codex in Axie yesterday and thinking about like with where we are in the space right now, like there is such a small concentrated group of people who are taking time out of their day to complete these actions, and how good would it be to to identify those small concentrated group of people and give them some form of rewards in an eventual time period, because it wasn't told to them like, if you do this right now, there's going to be this future incentive for you. I think when teams can do that, that's really, really bullish for me. Like rewarding, like you said, the good people within an ecosystem, and essentially good people would be coined as those who were actually playing the experience and taking part over the last few months, even when it probably wasn't directly incentivized for them to do so. So I think that's kind of where we're at with that, right? Like, as the airdrop happens, because Karma comes after TGE, that the pre-Karma that was registered already is kind of locked in there. Is there a snapshot for it? Can we get some alpha on that? Like, is it that being confirmed? Is it still like? Can we still start to supercharge people towards Fishing Frenzy now, or is that like, no, you've incentivized them? Fuck them, don't do it.
No comments. You never know.
I tried, lads. I tried. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
But yeah, I think you're absolutely on point. So like, we looked at everything from people who played the game even when we didn't tell them that there were any rewards, to people who were actively helping other players in Discord and actively like showing up. Basically, we just looked at everything they did and like gave rewards, actions that we thought were like good for the game and the community.
Yeah, I will say this. All right, the Founders Pass is under 500 RON at the moment. It's 429 RON at the floor price, right? $117. Like, if we're going off the dollar amount, right, which we don't tend to do here in the crypto space, but sometimes we do, right? But if we're going off the dollar amount, this is around mint. I'm gonna be real. Like, if you go back, if you rewind back in the test of time, like, this is, I'm actually thinking about picking one up, because I don't have a Fishing Frenzy Founder Pass, and now I'm kind of thinking about it like, you know what, you guys have been consistent all this year. I haven't seen any bitching or moaning. Like, your heads have been down, you've been hustling, and this is where we're at, right? The white paper comes out, Fish token is around the corner. If the flywheel does work, if Karma performs really well, something.
Yeah, there's been so much FUD around certain games, certain team members in those games, etc., that you almost forget about the quiet teams that are just shipping and that are not involved in drama.
Yeah, it's true.
But yes, that price point is attractive. Maybe I need to sell maybe I need to sell one Moki and buy a Founders Pass. We'll see.
Hey, just put it in the bank. Let's put it in the bank. Really cool though. Like, JW, I know that we're here to talk about this white paper for sure. Is there key points in that white paper that are critical for you to deliver today? I want to focus on those so we make sure that we get that communication across to people.
I think there are a few things that we want to put out in the space. Like, basically with Fish, with this token, and even with the design of this token, the way that we built it and designed it was just like we asked ourselves, like, what do we want to see more of in the space? And then we just put it out there. And I can share with you a few things that I want to see more of, and how they're being reflected. So I want to see more. Yeah. So there are a few things. One is I kind of like want to see like projects succeed at being able to kind of like build for the Web3 audience. And I know there's a lot of like
lower the volume
the
of
sound.
the game.
Like, you really just drowned her out with your freaking Fishing Frenzy game.
I know the soundtrack is cool. I know the soundtrack is good.
Wait.
I hear it every night.
Welcome to the Ronin Radio.
Welcome. This is
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I love Fishing Frenzy music so much. I had to blast it full volume. No, I have the tab muted on mine, so I was like quietly like, I'm just gonna get a few games in, right? This is like, it's cool. We're having fun. I had no idea that we were blasting the tune. JW, I'm so sorry. Let's rewind real quick, and I'm gonna catch some fish.
I literally dream of this like music because it's been out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a few things. There are a few things. So one is the audience. So I think there's been a lot of like studios who like been building for a while, or maybe they decide to leave crypto, and one of their biggest takeaways is always like it's not a sustainable audience to build for. Like Web3 gamers don't want to play a game. They like, they just want like pure profits. And kind of like here we have like a slightly different take. We think that the audience is definitely profit driven and profit motivated, but there is a way to make the game sustainable if we can build around their like core desires. And I think that kind of like alludes to what you said at the beginning, like Fishing Frenzy is very low maintenance. You don't have to think too much about the game. You don't have to read other than this white paper. Like we've kind of like tried to build for the perfect audience that's like super busy, like not much time to like spend on like really grinding. And then obviously the economy is like fully on chain. You can speculate on different things. So even with the fish token, it's built this way. Like you can choose, like once the token is live, you can choose to stay in the ecosystem and see what we have in store in terms of rewards for Chapter 2. You can see what we have in store in terms of building out the ecosystem. Like, do we have partners in place? Are there going to be future rewards that are even bigger than Fishing Frenzy and beyond Fishing Frenzy? What else do we have within the Fishing Frenzy ecosystem that hasn't been revealed? So that's one. The other thing that I also very much believe in, I just having been in crypto for a long time, is like figuring out incentive alignment. Like, I think one of the biggest like reasons why dev spiral like start is when the community and developers like starts to lose trust in each other. Like even for us as developer, we get a lot of our energy and our morale from the community. When the community believes in us and believes in what we do, we get more motivated to build and charge towards the mission. And I think the community feels the same. They want to see us showing up. They want to see that we are incentivized. So we have something that we introduced to our token. It's called dynamic FDV unlocks. And the way it works is that at every new valuation milestone that the token reaches, another percentage of tokens get unlocked. Nice. And these tokens then go to the players who have staked their original allocation. And so if you look at the white paper, I think the different like tiers, it starts from like 5 mil for the first like unlock. So at 5 mil, another 10% of the initial airdrop gets unlocked. And at every 5 mil increment, another 10% gets unlocked all the way to 25 mil. So if we hit that, all of the like airdrop allocation that we have saved up for the players get unlocked. If players choose not to stake, that actually goes back to the treasury and we'll use it to refund it back to the players.
So if they choose not to stake, that means that they forfeit the future unlocks.
Yeah. Okay. If they choose not to stake, it goes back to the treasury. The treasury will find a way to funnel it back to the believers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
that means that the airdrop, that 50% unlock and then 50% with FTV, that means that people who sell their airdrop right away, they forfeit the next 50%, right? They don't get to come back.
So the way it works right now is that if you want to sell your airdrop, you can, but at the time of the snapshot, and the way that we decide when to take a snapshot is when the FDV of the token has traded over the target FDV for 7 days in a row. So if at 7 days in a row we have like achieved 5 mil and above, we'll take a snapshot. If at that point you have staked at least 50% of the initial airdrop given to you, you will still be eligible.
Oh,
so there is the opportunity for players to kind of like not stake their tokens, wait and see, and then stake at the
play the game basically, buy, sell, and then
obviously staking it has a huge benefit because the moment you stake your tokens, you get all these karma points, and your karma also determines like a lot of different things like your rewards, your withdrawal tax and stuff. And so we have introduced this. We don't know how it will play out, but the message that we are sending out here is that like we have big dreams for the token in terms of valuation. We want to work towards that, and we hope that you guys, as our players and our community, can like support us in this undertaking, and to kind of like further show the team's commitment to it. The team's unlock only starts at 25 million and fully unlocks at 200 mil. So we're also trying to tell the community that we're willing to eat last. Like like the community comes first, we'll eat last. Like, let's just build this thing. Let's like make Fishing Frenzy great.
Nice. So it's like your goal is to pretty much get everybody to grow alongside with you, right? And that's what the whole milestone unlocks. I really like that concept of like milestone unlocks. It's a lot better. It gives more belief and stuff. I mean, you've been around long enough. You know, like when on launches, normally people have some kind of a sell-off and whatever. Do you have any plans to like figure out how to address that or how to sustain that the best you can? Or is it like, okay, let's just deal with the community? You know, we've seen some projects do buybacks, right, to support charts and so on. So
Yeah, we do have different plans for the token, and there are certain things that we have committed to publicly. There are certain things that we have lined up our sleeves that we probably will only reveal, or like players will only find out as time progresses. We have committed to buybacks with the game's revenue. So like we this is kind of like signaling that we do care about price.
yeah,
Like if number goes up, like player rewards size also go up. So we are committed to that. As for like what happens on day one, like I've spoken to so many founders, like the general feedback is always like expect a lot of sell. So like naturally we we do expect like quite a bit of sell pressure. By the way, I'm really enjoying like the like real time game play. Like makes me want to pick up my phone and play. So it's like I think it's one of my favorite like feature within the game. But yeah, back to what's happening on day one. So I think we expect sell, and
yeah.
if anything, we kind of like would want the people who don't intend to stick around to try and like exit fast and get it out of the way. So trying to figure out how to shake out sellers early is probably
Yeah.
something that we want to do.
Right. No, that's solid. I like that, and like you said, like you're seasoned, you know, crypto natives and so on, so you know what's gonna happen and how to best manage it, and that's one of the reasons why I guess I personally believe in what's gonna be going on, because you're very confident in like your execution as well. Where do you see this? Like, let's say in an ideal world, right? Everything goes right. Right? Where do you see this going? Like, what do you think is, you know, the ceiling, or sort of say like, yeah.
I am just currently waiting to see if one more coral gets picked up. But in terms of like the game vision, I think we have a very large vision. So the way that we've built Fishing Frenzy from day one is kind of like asking ourselves, what is the kind of game that could be played by millions all around the world, not just crypto natives? Like, what do people like in a mobile game? Like, how do we make it both? Like, how do we make it fun? Like playing for fun is also part of the experience, even though it can be very financialized. If someone really just wants to go for profit, and how many Ron is that? I can't see.
10 run.
Yeah, so this like magical moments like this, like dopamine hits like this, are things that we think would be interesting beyond the crypto audience.
Yeah.
There is like a huge iGaming community. There's a huge mobile gaming community. I think we do have plans to just like build outside of crypto, even though right now we're very focused on the core community, which is a crypto audience. So sky is really the limit here. In terms of like the actual game loop, there's still so many features and layers that we have built that we haven't revealed. And then in terms of distribution and the like type of player we're going after, I think this game can be played by like a lot more personas. I've already started to make my family members play, and they don't know crypto, but they find the game like easy and enjoyable enough to keep coming back to. So that's kind of like where we want to go. And obviously, like if this succeeds, then we do hope that this becomes like a playbook for like the industry, or rather something to inspire the industry, that proof of contribution could work. Proof of contribution can harness communities together and create a growth flywheel, and then work with other games and other studios to like, you know, launch their like build up their community and launch their tokens successfully. So yeah, lots of things.
It sounds really good, like, because you have so many teams that there's a lot of, let's just say there's a lot of people that have been talking about measuring contribution on crypto Twitter over the last 2 years. I haven't seen a lot of teams building it out. You know, everybody's got the good ideas, you know, like, oh yeah, I want to give the tokens to the people who are active in the Discord helping out new players, but who has actually done it? So, yep. But I the way I'm seeing it from what we've been talking about today is basically because the problem with contribution or measuring contribution is that when it's a smaller community, you want to be doing it. You want to be like handpicking people, handpicking cases, handpicking certain actions, but that's just not scalable, right? So you need a transition into something more automated, I guess. So here, the way I'm seeing it is that you're basically airdrop for people that have been playing the game, and then you're handpicking more weight on certain actions of people in your community, and then you're rolling out karma so that it takes over from the handpicking, right? So that then you can just meld in on-chain actions to take over a lot of the heavy lifting of picking all the good actions, is what I've gathered today. Is that about? Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I think I could agree with that. I think the beauty of Fishing Frenzy is that we probably are one of the games with like the richest data. Like we have 40,000 over on-chain wallets, 10 million over downloads, and then we've also generated over 1 mil volume on Ronin, another
Nice.
1 point something million on the like secondary trading. So we really can see who are like net sellers, net spenders, smart players, ROI driven players who play for fun, and we can kind of like use the karma system to make that data kind of like available and understandable for other projects who want to use it in the future. When I talk to any project, it's always like, who are like your like core group of players, and how can we assess them? How can we reach out to them, right? So like, why not try to figure out how to do this at scale for everyone?
I broke my rod and got a golden rod back. I'm having a great time just playing Fishing Frenzy in the background. So like the conversation has actually been amazing. JW, I think you've done an excellent job being here today, and I'm really impressed with what the Fishing Frenzy team has been able to put together. Like, I don't know what it is about this game, and like for the longest time, like I'm not an avid player who's like every single day like, oh my god, I need to go do my check-ins, but every time I do go into this game experience, I find myself being like sucked into a lot of the things that are happening there, which is it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing to be able to notice that, because I am like in some people's words like the perfect crypto gaming consumer, because I will spend in a game for sure. But it's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I broke my rod earlier and got a golden rod, so I think we're up for the day, even though the dive did take some of my rod from me. Either way, it's been really fun to see the different experiences develop as well in the game itself, and I know there is so much more down the road, and you guys have really put together the beginnings of a universe, right? So shout out to everyone that is a fan of Fishing Frenzy. I think you've made a good bet if you've been in there early on and been contributing in that ecosystem, and I hope what the future holds for you guys will be pretty good. And hey, Stark, Theban, fucking excellent question, my friends. Look, you really did
Shut
a great
up!
job.
You probably wasn't even listening. He was probably
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
the whole time. He was like, "Yeah, let's
What?
go! I hit!" And then we're like out here, carrying the show the whole time.
What?
Well,
Yeah, chat,
you
let me
can
know if
tell
that's
once he
bullshit, bro. I
opened
think
the
that's
game,
bullshit.
he was just locked in.
He was checked out. It was like it was like the three of us were watching a streamer, Gila,
Gila,
play the game.
Tell us what
Yeah.
questions we asked.
Yeah.
You guys spoke about fish and how
I'm done. I'm leaving right now.
No,
I'm out.
literally, you guys literally just had a conversation about fish, right? Digital fish, and an amazing game that is here on Ronin, the King of Game Chains. No, JW, honestly, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for taking the time out to be here today. I wish you luck. I know you've got a lot of talks around the next few days and next week. If you guys are following and supporting the Fishing Frenzy movement right now, be there for them. There are some other mediums that will be talking with them.
Before we go,
there's questions in the chat. Oh, sorry.
there's some questions.
Ooh.
And was there a date? I don't know if I heard a date.
Oof.
When token? When?
When token?
Yeah.
There is a redacted section. There's a redacted section.
Yeah, this is the redacted section is something special that we're working on that
What?
has nothing to do with dates, and everything will make sense in due time. Yeah, like the Fishing Frenzy / Uncharted team's approach is to always have something up our sleeves. So this is one of the things that you guys will see us review in time to come. I'm wearing the when token shirt today. Because we don't have dates, and that's the only question I've been getting in our Discord.
Of course. I mean, that's the age old, right? In this industry, it's always as soon as you announce anything, it's like, okay, well, when? You know,
Yes.
it's instantaneous. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what your announcement is. It doesn't matter who the person is. It is in their head. They are thinking, okay, when? You know, when? But we won't be able to bring you that information today. I did mention at the start of the show, though, JW was like, oh, I'll fuck with the t-shirt. I like that t-shirt. It could be for any token. It should just be a staple for people who are about to launch a token.
I love it. I love it. Is that in the merch store? Where'd you get that from?
This is an Uncharted shirt, so I'll set you guys up with some after this call.
Let's go. Let's go.
Just let me have your sizes, and I'll send it over.
Okay, W's. We'll see when we might be at some IRL events. You know, we pushing. But yeah, that'll definitely be on the wardrobe list to rock if we are at an event this year. So, but JW, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for coming through today. Good luck with like I said, the calls that you have coming up, or the shows that you have coming up as well. And let's get it, man. I'm bullish on Fishing Frenzy as always. Any final words? Any last things to put out there?
I had fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
See you guys.
Yeah.
See you.
Brothers in Ronin. Ladies and gentlemen, yo.
You know what? It's always nice to
was a
have a different face on than to have to see your two ugly
Look
mugs
at
every
two ugly
day.
mugs every day. I knew it, bro. I could have written that one in the script before we went live today. That's how we closed up. But no, JW's fucking awesome, bro. I will say that. Like, he's actually been grinding as well behind the scenes, talking to creators in Ronin, like getting them, getting their feedback and, you know, assisting that whole process, which I think is bigger for the broader Ronin as well. Definitely a top performer this year, Uncharted in Ronin. So shout out to the team, shout out to Fish and Frenzy, man. I'm looking forward to it, but to be honest, that's the first, like, I guess not the first, but one of the first, like, token announcement white papers where I'm not instantly looking at it like red fucking flags. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's always very difficult. We've seen TGEs this year be fucking horrific across the board. Right. Shout out to Karora for absolutely nailing the coffin. But this is like this is a lot more hopeful, and the retrospect reward system that they do have, I like a lot. Now I will be honest.
We should have asked how many tokens are going to be airdropped to the North Koreans.
Ah, fuck! We missed a good trick, man. Fuck.
And we should have called it the wet paper as well.
Yeah, I saw that at the start of the stream. I saw that. Shout out to Robo. I think that was RoboCop with that one.
There's a couple of questions from RoboCop that we didn't get to. When he said, like, will there be
you mentioned it, bro. You let me say goodbye to her, and you should have said, Gila, you fucking moron.
I mentioned the question once. That's enough. You're the lead of the show. Don't let her leave. No, I'm joking. I think that the questions we can answer ourselves, I think, with like, will there be a secondary unlock in case the market cap doesn't reach its milestone? Is there a timed unlock? I think if there's nothing mentioned about that, it's safe to assume no. I think that's the whole point, is that nobody gets those extra tokens until you get there. And actually, one of the main reasons why tokens don't go up is because of unlocks, of unlocks that are not linked with FDV goals. So
that's actually really bullish, bro.
So if it's basically tokens will stop being released, or a large part of them will stop being released until you get to that market cap. And what's a good way to get to a certain market cap? Stop making new fucking tokens. Right? So
absolutely.
So if your question is like, if the game, let's say we never get to that milestone, then they never get released.
I mean, if you look at traditional businesses, that's kind of, like, this makes fucking total sense. I can't believe this hasn't been, this may exist out there in this industry for sure.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of it much, but it's basically like a company saying, we are not going to make more public shares until we complete, like, we actually have a revenue of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when she was mentioning something about like wanting to be like a bit of a blueprint for the rest of the industry, it ties in with what you were saying there, which is like, it seems so obvious. Whenever a company or a thing in crypto, especially in crypto, does something new and it works, after that everybody is like, it seems it's so obvious, like everybody starts doing it. But you always need you need to have projects that are like willing to risk all their reputation, like this game that has been building, and we were joking about it, but with like zero FUDs seemingly around it, in the past year. I'm sure FUD will arise with TGEs, because when you put tokens and money and all of that, it's not. It doesn't mean that they're out of the woods, but it's just to say that this is a team that has been working very hard, and they're putting their name, their reputation, and everything they've built on the line with this new system, right? It's of course when it's done and done well, everybody will be like, yeah, everybody does proof of contribution now. But you need to be the first team to have done it, because that's what takes the most balls, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. This actually needs to be a clip right here, right now, because at the end of the day, like, it is like one of those things where you look at it, you think, this makes total sense. Why the hell have we not been doing this? I genuinely think we're in a space full of fucking retards. Sorry, you're not. I am. But that's how it makes me feel sometimes, all right? At the end of the day, this is like painfully obvious. Okay, let's not do unlocks until we reach a certain FDV, right? Like there you go. Magic in fucking motion.
Like there's a world in which that probably that would have been very helpful for Ron.
That would have been very helpful for Ron. Yeah. Bro,
especially,
it would have.
Especially when you give tokens out to advisors and then the token doesn't go up. I think that if you're such a good advisor, your tokens should be tied in with the performance of the token. Advisors, the teams also, especially, I would say. So this is I'm rooting for them, and if someone can do it, it's them. Given how they've continuously done like small things and unique things, and it's nice. I like it. I'm rooting for them.
Right. I'm thinking about that fishing founders pass now as well at $100. It's kind of crazy, but
well, maybe you should start beating Theban in Pokemon so you can stop giving away your Ron, and then you can afford a founders pass instead of betting
actually right now
$25 a round, and then you're like, what?
Right now, I'm only sitting at minus 200 Ron, so like that's all right. Yeah, that's okay. Because that's like what? That's like fucking $10 now.
That means that 2 more losses and Theban can buy a fishing frenzy pass. Let's go.
You can. Can I imagine Theban sitting
at
his computer
happens,
like
I will
this?
buy a fishing frenzy pass.
Yeah, done.
I get
Done. Clip it, ship it.
I will do it.
All right. Also, something else that's happening today is I'm wagering Rallo in Pokemon TCG because this guy actually said that he hasn't played for a few weeks, but he can come back and whoop my ass. So we were like, put some run on it. That's fucking happening today at some point. It's probably going to happen in the radio Discord. So if you're in the server, you'll be able to see it live and direct. But there was other stuff to talk about today. Of course, you know, we were really grateful that JW wanted to come through and things have been happening. Dark's going to rip some packs in the meantime, but like. It's been an eventful week in terms of the broader crypto market. It was like we were absolutely booked. We were finished. Bitcoin went sub 100K for maybe less than an hour. But there seems to be some kind of a response, macro broader market, right? How are you guys feeling, bro? Like this is a good announcement that we had today. This is like a project that gives hope in these moments, right? In some forms. But in terms of this market, lads, what
do you know? So it's tied in with Robocop's question, I guess, or not question, but this comment. I think I was wondering when the talk of airdrops came up with Fishing Frenzy, because I think, as she was saying, she was mentioning that they have measurement of activity, like, which is invaluable.
They did airdrops in their last seasons. They had 2
seasons.
They've
done so. Fish, no, well, not of fish then, of Ron.
Not of fish, no. I don't know if it was directly Ron, bro. I definitely have taken part in it in the game itself.
I just think that they have a good precedent of being a game that when they came to Ronin, there was like no talk of airdrop, no talk of anything like that, and so I haven't played in a while and I haven't hung out in the Discord, but I'd like to believe that them more than other games have cultivated a sentiment around. Of course, we're still in crypto. Players are profit oriented, but compared to other games, less so than other games, because when they started out, it was just do your two free fishes a day, log in, chill vibes. You know, it wasn't talk about airdrops, blah 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 at the very start. So I'd like to believe that it means that not too many people have especially when you don't have the details of the TGE, spending in expectation of the airdrop, because I think that's a big thing for sentiment. When you have Kororo or something, or another unnamed game that.
Why'd you always say?
I glitched. I didn't mean to butcher the name. I didn't mean to butcher the name like they butchered that TGE. My bad. No. So what I mean to say is, there's a difference between a game that for a year has you spending to play, and then you're doing your ROI and you're waiting for the TGE to ROI back. That is almost destined to fail, right? Compared to a game where people are already playing more so for fun than other crypto games, and the airdrop they get is they're just happy to get. People didn't, when the founders passes came out, people didn't buy them because of an airdrop that was coming out. They bought them for other reasons, right? Also, DeFranco has a really good question. Any North Korean agents in chat, let us know. Shout out.
Let us know. I need help with some of your services. But yeah, I do think you're right. I think he's been a dark horse of Ronin this year, Fishing Frenzy. And that's crazy to say because, to be honest, they've been quite in the open of their performance. But today really made me appreciate, I guess, the solidarity that Uncharted kind of has. And I suppose we've had Derek on the show twice, I think, this year. Oh, okay. Was that just illustration?
I'll unblur my camera because that's what fucks up the.
Yeah, show us your bathroom.
Oh yeah, baby.
Ooh, what is that? Matcha, the matcha thing.
That looks like a fucking fake ass card.
It's the matcha. It's the matcha fucking Pokemon, bro.
I didn't even know that was a real Pokemon.
It's Teffroyable. So T is T and Effroyable is like horrific. So I don't know what his name is.
Horrific.
Horrific T. Terrific. Terrific.
Oh, okay. Yeah, terrific. That makes sense.
No, let's see what he's called.
It's matcha, but Sinisty. Sinisty is like
Sinicha. Sinicha is his name.
Yeah, Sinistra. That's the one. There's actually like a fucking deck.
$2 card. That's a $2 card, lads.
Where did you go? You went to your locals and just bought random packs? Like, what set are you even opening up right now?
This set.
Okay, yeah, Masquerade. Yeah, Twilight Masquerade.
Yeah, there's like
that's the set with Dragapult.
Yeah, it has like almost no good hits in it.
Well, I already. Well, you said it has no good hits. What's the first card I got in the first?
Bro, it's just an A spec, man. It's just
that's good for players, but not for collectors. That's why, like, if it was a collectible card too, it would be worth so much. Holy shit! Because there's no like different rarities for A specs, right?
We can open this later if you want.
Oh god!
Well, what is that? Oh my gosh! Let's see.
You gonna play Charizard deck?
The Charizard box, and I got a Mega Evolution box as well. So
let's go.
Yeah, you went full retail mode.
Yeah. Well, I finally found a store. I finally found a store that does tournaments on the weekend. So
nice.
I will be.
Yeah, all the homies be getting into Pokemon TCG right now. I'm not gonna lie. There's probably a future cook that may happen, bro. Just if you like Pokemon, you played Pokemon TCG, you should get the cobwebs and blow them off your cards and start fucking playing again.
Blow what?
Yeah, is that alpha? Blow the cobwebs off? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Whew.
Yeah, don't blow your cards off. I don't know how that would go, but yeah, bro. Pretty much like, what else are we cooking? What else is cooking, man? Fishing Frenzy, awesome, fucking great. Didn't even know about it yesterday, but today it was a good cook, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. There's been a lot of drama on the TL, of course. Or's been cooking. Or's constantly cooking ideas. I'm seeing a lot of chitter and chatter around the communities. I'm going to ask you guys this question, actually, but I'm seeing a lot of chit chat around the communities where they believe that, like, in this present environment, some people are like, we want founders to be more vocal. Some people are like, when founders are vocal, it's a terrible thing. Like, it gets bad. What do you think with our scenario right now that looks like? Is it helpful? Should they just be heads down working, or would you like to see them more in the public face? I will say this. G-Host has been tweeting more recently than he has over the last... and when the last time we were like fucking like, wow, this feels horrible. We're like, nothing's going on. that was like a pure silence time period. I think that was like June, if I'm accurate with that. I'm not sure, maybe give or take a month here or there. But the Geo's has definitely been very vocal as of recent. What is your guys' takes on it? Like, do you like that approach from founders? And this isn't just for Ronin. This is like talking about other projects as well. Like the role of a founder, should they be public facing? Should they be active?
I think they should be as vocal as they usually are. I think that it can be a bad look if things are bad, sentiment is down, prices are down, and a founder that was more vocal before shuts off at that point. It's a very bad look for the community, and then that might be more what some people are feeling sometimes, right? So, but if someone has always been like not community facing and it's just been working, it's not the time either for them to be coming out and spending all their time talking, when one, it's not their strength. Two, it also means like people in the community would be like, no, you've been working this whole time, why have you stopped working? So it doesn't mean that everybody has to come out of their shell, especially when the community is the most hostile. That's not when you send out your non-community facing trained members of your team. But it definitely calls for at the very least your community facing people to at least maintain that rhythm, and that they don't fade away into the darkness. And I'm not just talking about Sky Mavis, I'm talking about any team, any game. I think that when things are down, that's not when you send your team member that nobody's ever met and that's not media trained to go out and start tweeting and get demolished by all the haters.
Yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts on that. I think a lot of people it's not even a lot of people, a lot of founders, a lot of like companies in Web3, they think like, oh, they're the same as like any other business or whatever, right? In a way you are, but in this industry where like trust is so important, especially because like, you know, blockchain technology, smart contracts, all this stuff, there's so much shit that can happen. It's so important that you have that relationship with your, you know, community, right? Where like you're constantly active, like whether you want it to be your job or not, it is, right? Because how much your community trusts you is how much or how well your project ends up doing. So if you disappear, what's gonna happen, right? Imagine your girlfriend goes away for 2 weeks and doesn't talk to you, right? How are you gonna feel? You know, like for me, a founder is like my girlfriend, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know what the fuck is going on. You can't just fucking disappear forever or like for a while and just come back and be like, oh, surprise. Nah, it really isn't like that, because like there's just so much not only monetary attachment but also like emotional. Like when you believe in something, right, you're sharing a part of your mind with this project, with this thing, right? It's beyond just like money, to be fair. So yeah, I think like founders should always be active, no matter what, no matter how low things are, how bad things are, whatever it is. You don't got training for it, get fucking training for it, you know? Like in this industry, this is a completely different industry than everything else you're in, and you're in this industry for a reason, right? Because there's something to be gained here. So you want to do the right thing and you want to really have impact and like do things the right way, then, you know, do what you gotta do.
Facts. Actually, that's a really, really valuable point. No, seriously, this is a new industry. It's very different. Founders are not stealth silence in the background. It doesn't really tend to work well.
I think when I had partially Trung in mind when I was mentioning the coming out of your, like, because there was a time at the beginning of the summer where he was starting to like really be more active with Ronki and all of that, and then
he came on the show. And it was one of the best shows we've had.
It was a really good show. It was a really banger show. And then when the sentiment and when I say sentiment, it's also price. When the price of Ron and stuff started to go down, it's like he just instantly faded into the. And I think that was a missed opportunity because he was like ramping up organic sentiment because he was doing it around Ronke and all of that, and then just poof. And then everyone's like, "Well, what was that? Was that not genuine? Was that?" And I think some people in the community might have been feeling that way because it's just like, "Well, where'd he go? We were having so much fun with you."
It's more so like consistency as well, right? Like it's hard, you know. You kind of can do it for a couple. It's like when people start working out, they work out for like a week a week and a half, and then they get tired and whatever. Where it's like, there's a saying that you do it for 3 weeks, it becomes a habit, right?
Yeah.
Then you just keep going and going and going. So maybe it's also like kind of
Yeah,
stuck there. But also,
Yeah,
in the case
absolutely.
of Chung, he is focused on Atia's legacy. But I don't disagree with you, right? We
Yeah.
need more consistency. We need more like that. I think they try to do that with like the whole monthly town hall thing, right?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Wait, why are you
It's
laughing?
okay.
Why are you smiling?
It works. Who me?
Yeah. Bro, you went. They tried to do it with the monthly town hall, and then a smirk appeared as you finished that sentence.
Oh, I don't know. But what I mean, like they try to do it, but like obviously it's not like in their nature, or it's not like it hasn't become normalized yet for them. So once it does, I feel like they'll do a much greater job at it. I just don't think like sometimes people notice how important it is, right? And this is not about Sky Mavis. Like what I'm talking about is not about Sky Mavis. It's about like founders in general. You know what I mean? Like in this industry, like too many of them use like other industries as scapegoats to get away from like what they have to do.
For sure.
Right? Their obligations.
I'm like that, so I can vouch, bro.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. They just always cherry picking like whatever is good for them in that moment, and like when shit hits the fan, they're fucking gone. Right?
Yikers. Yeah, I gotta change that trait of myself, bro, to be fair. But one thing I was gonna say here is that actually, if you look at even just on a marketing aspect, companies that have like a large social presence, particularly on places like TikTok, they are companies that have progressively grown and they've documented their growth. And that's actually what's given them their popularity, is that the documentation of their growth has actually driven engagement and then has become a funnel for custom. So successful companies actually are like becoming successful because of a leg up that they get from documenting the process. So like in my mind, if we are going specific here to like the Sky Mavis or and the Axie Atia's legacy development, like imagine if Trung at the end of a day, every day, or at the end of the week, every week, just made one post that was covering the things that he thought during that week, right? And not necessarily revealing exactly what's been done.
Nobody gives a shit about like what's being done or what's going on. They just want like some character, you know what I mean? They just want to know that you exist, that you're like, yo, what's good, homies? Like just being there, just like at the end of the day, crypto, all these like chains and all this stuff, they're all just cults. Right? Like it's how it is. It's like a group. It's like a gang. It's like something you believe in together. Like, so just gotta show up, right? If your leader is not there, then what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're like that at that point you're just a headless chicken, right?
Yeah. Them true. Tried and true, bro.
Look at what Dracloak is called.
What?
Oh, it's upside down. Dispa reptile, like reptile at the end, but dispa reptile.
Does that mean dead reptile? Ghost reptile?
No, it's like like disappear, disparaître, and reptile. Anyways, some of the French names are nice.
That's the Mega Charizard.
Well, I got a big Charizard. I got a Charizard EX that I'm gonna give to my friend's 6-year-old kid, and he's gonna love it. Look at that. Imagine you're 6 years. Imagine you're 6 years old and you get to go to the playground with this shit. Holy shit!
Wait, are you gonna start running the Charizard deck?
No.
From the new set.
Yeah, that's from the new set. That's actually really popular. Yeah,
fucking badass. Though.
Wow,
he's gonna kill it. Is Stark wrapping a Christmas gift or something? No,
I'm unwrapping presents
unwrapping
myself,
his own
bro.
Christmas gift.
What do you mean Christmas? It's November, bro.
Yeah, fucking save that talk for another few weeks, brothers. Yeah, man. I get what you're saying though. Like you want like a personality. You want to champion people as well. Like you want somebody that is at the helm of the thing that you're kind of championing, and also want to champion that person as well.
Yeah, I mean that's Jihos, right? For Sky Mavis, he's always done a great job. I think at doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I can't really fault like like there's nothing on the Sky Maven side where I feel like, oh, they gotta be more transparent. I feel like they kind of keep some of their ideas and what they're cooking close to the chest, right? Which I feel sometimes is unnecessary because let's be real, like not only Web3 gaming is kind of like down trending this whole time, a lot of people can't execute whatever they want to plan to do anyway. You know what I mean? So I think it's okay to be more out with it. Yeah, like I feel like it's not that serious. I feel like we're just thinking too much about like how the transparency and all this stuff is, to be honest, working. The issue probably is somewhere more related to like how do we just keep galvanizing people and like bring more narrative towards the price where it can go up, because when price goes up everyone comes back. Like that's it. Like fucking hell. Like, and like obviously we tried the whole buyback thing. It was nice, but at the same time the timing was like kind of sucky because like crypto has just been like, we literally started buying at the top of Bitcoin as it was like going back down to 100K. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, if we look at it in RON perspective, like, yeah, of course, prices continuously decreased during the purchasing of it, but like, these are like micro moments that I think in a macro view, when you look back at like when the buyback took place or the first buyback took place, and like we continue down the road of where I see a progressive Sky Maven as a progressive Ronin as a network and so on and so forth, like you'll probably still be considerate of that price. Like you'd be like, okay, at least like that was in a good moment to do these things. But this is something I did want to talk about though today, is because like I guess this is where we might wrap the show up after this conversation. Like there's a lot that could be contributed towards this. Like feel free in the comments, to get involved in this. But like I was very adamant on like thoughts yesterday, and we spoke about it a little bit on Tuesday, and it was like, don't feed the troll. And you guys know the troll of as our perception in some forms is the Tengri approach. Like I'm not here to feed it engagement or to highlight it, etc. But it has me thinking about a lot, right? And just like the viewpoint of Ron. Oh yeah, nice Screamtail. The viewpoint of like Ron and Ronin as a network, like it's just a much bigger picture. Like gaming, in crypto and gaming, right, has reached a point that is like suffering its consequences, right? And those consequences are from the fact that Axie did it, right? Axie fucking did it in 2021 in terms of like price appreciation, in terms of this huge success case. It did it, right? Everybody then tried to redo that same thing, and it was an inflated aspiration that was followed by irrational investment, which then inflated the perception of what this industry was at the time and could be in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Which created this false vision.
Yeah,
right?
It's true, because it was at the time when like literally there was no use case for crypto in general, right?
Yeah.
Like even the exchanges that were using, like that you were trading and doing perps and whatever, they didn't really use their own tokens at the time, right?
Yep, there was
like,
none of that.
BNB was only on the come up back then in 2021. So you got all these NFTs, and everyone owned NFTs. They're all PFPs except for Axies. Axies are actually something, right? So during that time, there's a lot of obviously speculative money coming in. Ethereum was pumping. Everybody was feeling rich, and they were like using that to buy whatever they thought was like the next thing you're rotating into, and so on and so on. So you're right? The perception was skewed, but we all knew that. In 2022, we all knew that. We just didn't know how far the bottom can go, right?
Yeah.
Like where is the true bottom for all this stuff, and then like bouncing off of. We see games now. Back in 2021, everyone was complaining that all these games are too expensive. We can't play. Oh my god, I wish Axies were $2, $5 so we could all fucking play. Guess what, motherfuckers? Axies are $5 or $2. Where you at?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, right? And that's where it also made me realize that when prices were up, when NFTs and everything were like too expensive, it was actually a much better place because it was like playing high stakes poker.
Yeah. What they actually want is not the value to be lower. They wanted they wanted their profit, their margins. They wanted margins.
They wanted better
right?
margins. They wanted to play with $5 axes, but have the chance to win as if like everybody else is paying $2K for their team.
Yeah.
That's what they actually wanted, right?
Mhm,
So all those people, in my opinion, are the ones who actually ruined everything, right? Because like they just don't see it like what
I think
crypto actually
I don't want to get derailed from like the point of what I'm getting at here. Like really and truly is that
you're talking about like how Axie like
actually did it right. They accomplished the vision that they set out, right, which was to have a mass adopted gaming product that was based in crypto, that was using NFTs, and they did it right. Okay, economically, they fucking didn't do it because we all know what happened. Okay, there's been a lot of readjustments right during that time period, but during that time period also, like you said, there wasn't product market fit for crypto. Nobody in 2021 was talking about crypto in the professional manners in which crypto is referred to today. There was not the belief in crypto that there is today back in that time period. So between then and now, the fact that belief in a more of a macro and a mass adopted environment has increased, right, is a good thing. But because that increase has happened, it has happened in certain areas of this industry of crypto, right? Gaming is not one of those areas. So all of that inflated perception, right, all of that capital that was allocated to that inflated perception has transferred and transitioned from the gaming play to places where the tangible belief in the macro actually is. And what I mean by that is essentially where crypto is going to actually be implemented in day-to-day life first is arguably the best place for money to be allocated, right? As an investor.
That's not true.
No, it's not true. But what I'm saying is that's what we've seen, right, over the last few years.
That's not true. What I mean is it is true in an ideal world where what's actually happening is money's just going where it moves the fastest.
Yeah. Fair.
Right? Wherever it moves the fastest. So like what happens with gaming, right? And crypto gaming is that it's actually one of the more slower moving things that appreciate, right? Because it would need time. It would need people to appreciate, right? Like for example, trading. You can have 5 guys that have a few $1 million and price can just move like crazy back and forth and they can just beat each other forever. In gaming, you're gonna need like thousands of people. You need investors. You need NFTs to go up in price. You need narratives to come in. All this bunch of stuff.
Layers.
Right. So that's why people like kind of laid off on it because there's other places where you can like put your money into that can multiply faster. Right.
Mhm.
Like the people who are here in 2021, a lot of them were actually just crypto natives. Because they were like, oh, I want to do something with my Ethereum. I want to spend it. I want to like figure out what this is. Oh, I can make more money doing this. Okay, let's jump in on this, right? So it's like, so in order to recreate that magic, so many different things need to happen. You actually was truly a unicorn, right? So like, will we ever go back to those glory days? Honestly speaking, unlikely, right?
Yeah.
But there is a different thing that can happen, right? Where crypto gaming, because of like how it can pay out people and the structures that it can create and all that, could have the narrative of taking over gaming altogether.
Yeah, and then it's a viewpoint of like, oh, $100 billion market per year. This is actually
that's different. Now that's different, right? But we keep chasing Axie. No one is ever gonna attain that. It's literally never gonna happen because of how like it's absurd. Axie did what, like 4 billion in volume or something in like
the NFT volume.
months?
It's still we've said it before. It's still Guinness World Book of Records, bro. It's the highest value traded in an NFT collection on this planet. Still.
Yeah, it wasn't even a year. It was in like over the span of like 3 or 4 months or something that happened.
It's fair to say people went batshit crazy for Axies when that was happening. So, but like, there's lots of really good points to pull away from what you just said as well. And I think it definitely was like a magical period of time. And it was people in crypto who were crypto natives that were in an experimental phase. They were experimenting. They weren't coming. And this is what I'm saying. What I was trying to say, and I think I didn't articulate it properly here. But what I was trying to say is that in the time period between then, that and this is where I think this space actually is, and this world essentially is way beyond money. It's about like humans, their actions, the way they feel, their desires, and so on and so forth. But back then in 2021, right, they were very experimental. They were excited. They wanted to find new ways for this industry to I guess entice people, and for them to excite them also. Now, the more populous of crypto is this investment front, right? Because you said like there's high fidelity with these trading platforms. The money that can be made is there, and it's quite obvious. We're having institutional interest and those types of things. The more that happens, the more sophisticated the money becomes as well. Like the investment becomes sophisticated. It does look for the quicker return on investment time frame. It does look for the higher percentage return on investment year on year. If that is a game right now, maybe it takes them 2-3 years to get off the ground and to that point, and it is dependent on multiple layers. Whereas, okay, if I invest into a company that is like Hyperliquid, we get this much token allocation. They keep burning the token when everyone uses the platform. We get 100,000 plus users, and I'll make this in like fucking 5 months. Great. Here's my money. Let's do it, right? So that's why money fucking is flowing there right now. We are not in that phase of the experimental, the creative, the what was able to spawn the unicorn of Axie. So really, then it becomes a question of like, do we need that type of an environment again? Or is this actually now that we need to sophisticate the industry in a certain way so that it becomes more attractive to the sophisticated capital? That's well, I don't know the answer to, because you were saying we can't repeat the Axie thing. That is a unicorn. So it really, is it focusing on the environmental? I don't think so. Is it really focusing on the sophistication of the industry to entice money to come into it?
I mean, we just need to tame our expectations first, right? Like we can't just keep aiming at Axie. Like it's just not thing. Just accept defeat. Axie is Axie. And like the more you aim at Axie, the less likely you are to like actually find the product that you can cook with.
Yeah.
You know, so let Axie be Axie. Let's move on, right? It's like trading, right? You make a trade, you lose a trade, whatever. Move on. Like next trade is a new trade. You know what I mean? Forget about the last trade. It's the same thing. Forget about Axie, because like Axie's Axie, you know. So now we focus on what's new, what is the current market, what it is. Okay, things are worth a couple dollars, whatever. Let's think about what can we do with that, right? How can we like use that to our advantage, right? Let's go back and let's be like, okay, well, if I get a few dollars, that's still better than what I would get if I played a Web 2 game. We keep comparing to like the gains of like 2021 gaming, you know what I mean? And we're like, oh my god, it's so shit compared to there. Right? The same people who think about 2021 or prices back then are the same people who would be horrible at trading, for example. Right?
Yeah.
So forget about that. Let's think about things right now. Games are still like available to be played. There's still money to be made for whoever that time is worth it for, right? And there's still people who can enjoy these games who don't actually care about the money as well, right? So we have all these things available, but people expectations are just so absurd, right? That they can't see all of that, all the good stuff that's happening.
Yep. Well, I mean, the bad shit has to die, right? Actual selection, and the survivors. Maybe there is something there, and that's why, as well, even going back to the start of today's show with Fishing Frenzy, I'm actually really, really impressed, because this has been a fucking horrible year for a lot of crypto gaming projects, but they have silently continued to move forwards. And that shows strengths. But yeah, man, I'm in a phase now where it's a bit weird, all right? Like people probably look at me, and you know, if you are at the heights of this industry, you are a dev or you're someone that is deep into fucking crypto, and like you discovered it in 2014 when I was fucking fingering girls in nightclubs, like do you know what I mean? Like you you'll probably look at me like, hey, he's an idiot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that I have anything to contribute towards this. But generally, I look at this place now and I'm like, fuck me. Like, is play to earn dead? Does it make any fucking sense? You know, like the
Of
gaming
course it makes
industry.
sense. No.
But
Hey,
no.
listen, it
Let me
makes
get to the
sense.
point. The gaming
Okay.
industry is $100 billion a year, broski. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
None of them Donnies, except for pro gamers, get any bread, right? The majority of people, right, in gaming are literally going to work, doing their normal life, and choosing to dedicate a few hours and maybe a percentage of their wage every month to do some shit digitally, right? Like, there is no driver for capital, but yet that industry is $100 billion. And I know it takes time to get that industry to that point. I know it probably stems back from the nostalgia and the development of technology in that moment where people thought, oh my God, this is amazing. We have pixels on a screen moving and I'm controlling them, right? Like, there's a lot that it goes and stems back to. But if the industry is able to generate $100 billion a year with no monetary incentives, bro, like isn't that like, is that still possible in this industry with the accents or the accentuation of ownership? Is ownership enough for that?
Of course. I mean, look at what happened with CS:GO, right? So RoboCop also. I mean, this will point to what RoboCop's asking. He's like, what is the point of incorporating blockchain into gaming, right? Is it only get paid us to play games? It's not. It's not about playing to get getting paid to play games is just like the result of what blockchain is, right? Like in CS:GO, you own these skins, all controlled by Valve, right? You can only sell it on the Steam marketplace, and you can't actually legally sell it to anybody else for cash or anything or black market or blah 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 whatever of that stuff. So what happened with the skins is that Valve just decided, oh well, you can just take your skins and you can merge them and you can create this like super rare item that's actually worth like tens of thousands of dollars now for literally at the price of like $10. You have a chance to do it, right? If you did that in Web3, your game will die on that day, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the power to decide enough is enough, right? All of that ability to be able to do those things is like in the user's hands. And at the same time, you have all these assets on chain. You can sell it whenever you want to. You can trade it to whoever you want to, and you don't have to worry about anything. Plus, unless like they say that, oh, we can change metadata, we can do this, blah blah blah, whatever it is, right? Your skins or your NFTs or whatever stay exactly the same, and you own it. It's your intellectual property after that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to Web2 gaming, it's not. Like when I first came into this industry, I understood that. I also understood how easy it would be for like even let's say gaming. Like you're talking about esports and they're the ones who make the money, right? You know how easy it would be to just pay out after a tournament, right? Look at Axicon. Axicon happened the next day, boom, you're already paid out. I play in Dota. Sometimes I didn't get paid out for a year. Usually it takes 3 months, whatever, 6 months, blah blah blah. There are tournaments where I didn't get paid out for a year. There are tournaments I've never got paid out for. You can just go to a tournament in Web3, right? And you can just be like, okay, show us where the money's at. Where the funds are for the event. And they'll just show you the wallet where the money is. And then that's going to be distributed from there as soon as the event's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I can think of 100 different reasons why it's better. Right?
Yeah.
Now, whether you can see the vision or not, or it impacts your everyday like gaming experience, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, for I was playing devil's advocate, of course. I definitely see the vision. I'm an advocate for the vision. The CS:GO environment actually enhanced conversation starters for that because people know about the CS:GO, and then you can be like, well, if this was on chain, this wouldn't happen because the supply would be. I mean, there's elements where it could happen because you don't know what they would do with their distribution mechanics, and if they say that like, oh, this is the only one, right, and it is going to be the only one forever, etc. But it allows you to have tangible conversations with gamers about the value case here, which is a good thing. Another aspect here is like I'm seeing Robocop in the chat, and basically the sentiment around what he's saying is like the play to earn came around because they needed ways to entice people into the IP of the digital ownership. Like, why would you want to digitally own an IP or something within an IP that nobody else gives a fuck about? Right? Is fair point. Like, if you're a startup, that's true. You really have to work hard on building the IP out and making that connection with humans, right? The counter to that is like, okay, well, let's just get already popular IPs and bring them to crypto and have them understand about the ownership. One point of that is like, okay, you kind of have to convince a very popular IP to essentially put their entire revenue system by a massive percent because they're no longer going to own everything, right? So in some way, shape, or form, they have to decide to lose money. Two, we did that. Look at Ragmon. Ragnarok Online doing great, right? I'm not going to speak on that. But if you look at like Ragmon, that was like the first play in Ronin where everyone was like, holy shit, the Ragnarok IP is coming to Ronin. We're going to have NFT assets on it. And owning Ragmon NFTs right now on Ronin means absolutely dog shit nothing. And we've been down that stream. So like, is it still a viable avenue to go down? Like, do we need to acquire, is like that still a viable avenue to acquire IPs and have them be convinced that they're going to do something good for their fan base, but you're going to lose money, but you're going to do something good for your fan base? Or should we actually lean in to focus on IPs like Axie, IPs like Moki?
Listen. Nobody is gonna lose money in exchange of their fan base. Nobody. Everyone here is a business at the end of the day, right? What they want is money. If there's an end goal where they can make more money, they will invest it. You can say they will invest it, right? But they will not lose money for their fan base. That's
interesting though, because that now, you know, every IP that's come to crypto, right? Essentially, in that scenario, they had to make money somehow, right? Because you're saying that they wouldn't have lost money, right?
And they did make money. They made money whether through their VCs or farming their tokens or whatever it may be. They did, right?
Yeah.
Like that happened. But what we're looking for is like the education part, right? To get this to go to the next step, like people need to be educated. Robocop said, we understand that, but the average person doesn't care and they won't support Web3. Well, guess what? I was that average person coming in, right? I understood it from day one. That's because like I know what is being spoken and I'm listening, right? I agree with you. The normal person is kind of dumb. They're not gonna care, or they won't even understand how it can all piece together, right? So we need to make it as easy as possible so it seems seamless, right? And this is what a lot of Web3 teams are actually doing right now. Is like they're making the crypto aspect pretty much invisible, right? And when they realize that, like, oh my god, this is so easy, or like it's nothing, or like it makes my everyday life better, we already have mass adoption at that point, right? Like I feel like the future of crypto, we won't even be saying crypto anymore. It's just gonna be money. You know, we're just gonna say like, oh, I want to pay you in Bitcoin or Ron or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. You know, it won't be like, oh, let's transact in crypto. Like already people don't say that, but you know what I mean? Like no one's gonna even mention the word. No one's even gonna mention Web3. Eventually, just gonna be gaming. It's just gonna be money. It's just gonna be that. We're just thinking too like short term, right? Short-sighted, right? Like freaking the president of America, the super nation of the world, like the most powerful person on this planet, was talking about Bitcoin at the speech yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? Was talking about America becoming the crypto nation of the world. All right. Literally the most powerful human on the planet.
Honestly, one of the biggest problem solvers for everything that's happening right now is the ability to fucking zoom out. I'm just gonna say it. Like, zoom out. End of the day.
It's
also,
people watching like 1 second charts is how I feel.
It's
you know what
right
I mean?
now, bro. It's dark right now. No, okay, sorry. I wanted to get something going. You seem a little down, bro. Since
no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine.
Okay, good. I will say this though as well. Like, fuck, bro. Do you realize there has never been a moment in time like this? There has never. I'm sorry, bro, but if you actually look at what's going on right now, we are on the cusp of a crossover of technological and financial revolution, bro. In the next 5 to 10 years, God willing, you survive, you will go through a revolutionary period in human history, bro. That's going to fucking happen. So like, zoom the fuck out. Real talk. I'm tired. I'm tired as fuck too, boss. I'm tired too. Right? I'm out here.
Boss.
I'm tired, bro. I swear on my life, yeah. Look, let me just get real with Ronin Radio real quick with the users. Like, I could go to KFC. I could go to McDonald's. I could go to the corner shop and work for Boss Man and earn more bread than I'm doing right now. But I zoom out. All right, I zoom out. Serious. I zoom out. And low-key, I could be earning more if I worked a little bit harder and I'm a bit lazy and procrastinating and all that shit there. Yeah, true. But the thing is, I could go to a Boss Man shop and earn more bread than I am right now. So you might think I'm dumb. But if I zoom out and we get to where I see in the scopes over there, we're going to fucking cook. I need you to lock the fuck in and zoom out. And also another point on top of that, because it's very easy to get carried away here. If you are absolutely dying and on your last fucking legs because you put the last cent that you fucking own in a gamble in the short term, I'm sorry, I don't fucking feel sorry for you. Go get a job, get cash flow positive, and then come back and invest bread that you can invest, bro. That's just the bottom line. Either way, I'm fucking done. All right, fucking done. Okay. You guys got anything else to say? Actually, I don't give a shit. Here's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much. Tuesday, we'll be back locked in. We've got Cambria's founder, Benzie, with us, of course. I'm going to invite some of their community members too, so we can fucking have a degenerate chat afterwards. I think Cambria's going to cook this next season as well. You've seen it already, whatever. Over $30 million has been wagered in an off season in that game. So, you know, that's not nothing. Either way, that's what's happening next Tuesday. The Thursday after that, who fucking knows? I don't. It's been Ronin Radio. Thank you to JW. Big shout out to Fishing Frenzy. If you haven't already, go check out their white paper. If you want to zoom back. I've said zoom out too many times. If you want to rewind back to the start of the show, you can catch all of that information there. It was a great conversation that I listened to absolutely not at all and played Fishing Frenzy in the background. But Beeman and Stark actually carried that one. So W's in the chat for them, guys. As always, enjoy your weekends. Big shout out to you all. We love you. And yeah, man. Thanks for fucking being here. Anyway, I'm gonna reflect on the comment I made about 2016. Love you guys. See you. Seriously, bro, I'm gonna have to go reflect on that one. Much love, man. This is a motherfucking gang. Lads, bro, I'm serious. This is the alpha, the end of show alpha. I'm so serious. Get cash flow positive. Invest what you can. Zoom out. Play the long run. Play the long game. Play the long run. Play the long game, bro. Fuck. Right? I love you all. This is a gang.